Hello, we're live, I believe. Good evening and hello to you all. Sorry, I've forgotten to turn on my light. Oops, my city light. There we go. Right, now it's a bit brighter, so there we go. That's better. That's much better. Thank you. Sorry, I do apologize. Anyway, there we go. Before we even started, I made the schoolboy error. So anyway, hello and welcome to you all. There's two of you I can see that are here. We've got Keely and we've got Irish Fairy Tarot. Woohoo! Woohoo! Yes, woohoo to you. Good evening to Bernard, who says great content. Bernard, thank you very much. You're very kind, Bernard. We've got Linz. Hello. Yes. Padmeister. Hello. Good evening. The Judge Clips and right, Marianne, Keely, and Linz. Yep, there we go. Anyway, so we're waiting for a few people to come into the conversation, so to speak. So if you have any questions, let's begin with a few questions. Let's begin with that, and then we'll go on to a few topics. So there we are. Right. Hello to Paws, Claws, and Jaws, and everybody else that's coming into here. There's lots of you. You're coming in thick and fast. Cheers and best wishes with a glass of red wine. Can I speak French? I do speak a little French, but not very much. No, I'm pretty useless. I'm pretty schoolboy error. Terrible. Absolutely shocking, really, isn't it? But you know, there we go. Anyway, it's been a lovely day here, and the weather has been fantastic. Nice to sit in the sunshine. How's Min tonight? She's very quiet and reserved, and that's probably better for her than last night. Yes. Right. Anyway, that's all I shall say about that for the moment. Right. Anyway, next question. Any questions before, whilst we wait for people to come in and join us, we will we'll sit around and wait. So, questions, please. Questions. Those of you that are here, you could ask me a question, or you could ask a question about somebody else in the room. I'm sure the other people are more interesting than me. So you could ask a question about one of the other fellow people appearing in the room. There you go. So that's that. Anyway, I have a number of topics to talk about tonight. One of them is Meghan Markle, because her sister Samantha has been in touch, and Samantha has given me quite a lot of new information. So I'll share that with you. Another is Holly Doyle, the jockey. I would like to talk about her because she's been wonderfully successful. I want to ask you some questions about Keir Starmer, the farmer harmer. And then we'll go about the Bibby Stockholm. The Bibby Stockholm, my favourite topic, the old boat. So we've got plenty to talk about, lots of things to bring up on my part, but you obviously have lots of questions of your own. What have I had for dinner tonight? For lunch, I had some pork, which was very nice. Pork with some rice, which was absolutely lovely. It's a lovely little restaurant around the corner. Very nice. There we go. Right. There we are. So, hello from Georgia, USA. Well, hello to Georgia, USA. It's quite a long way to come in from. So, thank you for visiting us. What do I think of Charles Spencer? I think the man is a bit of a bore, to be honest, just like his horrible sister. Didn't like her either. But Diana was a total disgrace. Absolutely pest. Awful woman. I'm sorry she died in the way she did, but she wasn't a nice woman in life. Right. Do I like to listen to Andrea Bocelli? Yes, occasionally. He's a great singer. Absolutely fabulous. Wonderful man. Fabulous. Good choice, Patricia Bennett. Like Andrea Bocelli, yes, of course. Nobody, how could anyone not like him? A wonderful man. Absolutely spectacular. So, a wonderful, wonderful person. So, next question. Any more questions? Let's have a few more questions. Cheers to Tuesday, says Elizabeth. Well, cheers to Tuesday, Elizabeth. Cheers to Tuesday. There we go. I better raise a glass, hadn't I? There we go. Do I believe in ghosts? Well, we've had a night where we discussed ghosts. Yes, of course I believe in ghosts because we talked about it. So, if you didn't watch our ghost program, you can go back and you can look it up. A bit ghostly. Woo, 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 woo. Yes, like that. Did I go to a boarding school with Charles Spencer? No, I did not go to school with Charles Spencer. I'm considerably younger than Charles Spencer. That's very insulting of you, actually, to say, whoever you are. How do I know the Spencers? Well, I knew Acid Rain, Rain Spencer. So there we go. But no, I'm not the same age as Princess Diana, the Diana, Princess of Wales, or her brother. I'm closer in age to her children, actually. So it's a very strange question, very odd. I don't know if you mean to try and provoke me, but what a stupid question. Absolutely ridiculous. But there we go. Right. If I had to choose one tipple and that's all I had to drink, what would I choose? Well, obviously it'd be gin. Yes, I like gin. Did I like Acid Rain, Poison Rain, as you call her? She was a bit of a snob, but she was perfectly pleasant to me. Not my kind of person, to be honest. She snotty old bag, let's be honest. Not your typical aristocrat who is dignified and decent. Not like, for example, the chatelaine of Chatsworth, the lovely Debo, the Duchess of Devonshire, a wonderful lady who was fun and friendly. Acid Rain was arrogant and spoilt. That's what I will say is the difference. You have Debo versus Acid. Debo is the star, I would say. That's how I would see the difference. Debo was a kind woman with a lady of grace, in fact, and not a woman. Whereas Acid was a woman of cruelty and greed and nastiness, not a pleasant, kind person. So that's my view of those two. Did I ever meet the Marquis of Bath? Yes, the last Marquis of Bath who died, I spent much time with him. I would say the Marquis needed a bath. He was very smelly. He wasn't very pleasant in the odor department. And he was a bit nuts. And he had all these mad women around him. And some of them were madder than others. Let's be honest. He wasn't a good person to spend time with. And I once went to a lunch party at his house. And I took some a decent bottle of wine. Well, you don't get served at his house when he was alive. You didn't get served decent wine. He gave you the old rubbish, and he kept all everything for himself. And then he started feeding the dog at the table, and it was revolting. It was the most unpleasant thing. I've only ever been once, and that was enough. And I thought, I'm not coming back here again. That was the end of that. So no, I've been to the Marquis Needs a Bath multiple, only once. But the encounters with him at multiple social occasions, he always behaved in a very strange manner. And he fell out with his son and the new Marchioness, as she is. And there was the mother who lived in Paris, and they were all a little odd. They were a very strange family, that lot. Would I go on Big Brother? No, I don't think so. Why would anyone want me to go on Big Brother? Because I'm not I'm absolutely of no relevance. So I'm not a famous person, so I would be of no relevance to the program. Did I like Acid Rain? No. I thought she was a very rude woman, and she was very close to Mohammed Fayed. That speaks volumes, doesn't it? A man who has probably abused at least 111 women. Horrible, horrible man. And a horrible woman she was too. Anyway, but that didn't mean she did any of that. But she's just not a nice woman. Have I ever been to Pamplona? Yes, I have been there. Yes, nice place. Very pleasant. Had a nice time there. Right. Have you ever bumped into someone that knows you dislike them and heard you say so? Can't say I have, no. I tell everybody what I think to their face, and I'm not saying anything here they wouldn't say to someone's face. So I speak honestly and with my own integrity. I am who I am. Right. Would I ever wear a Marquis of Bath style waistcoat? No, thank you. Not my kind of thing. I don't want to look like the Marquis of Bath. No. So definitely the answer is no. Right. Anyway, is the Pope dodgy? Well, probably. I'm not a Roman Catholic, and I don't support the Roman Catholic Church. I don't support any religion. I think the Bible is one of the most manipulated books on the planet. I do believe there is a higher being, but I don't follow organized religion. I suppose I am traditionally associated with the Church of England, but I don't follow the rules of any religion. I'm not religious. No. But that's my personal choice, and I respect other people's choices to be religious or not. But if I were to be religious, I would say I am Church of England, because that's the thing closest to me. I was kidnapped as a child by a cult, by a mad woman from a cult, and I experienced that. That wasn't very pleasant. And I've been through all of that, so it puts you off religion for life. We've talked about that already, so I don't want to go into it again tonight, but there we go. So, I have had personal experience of being dragged into some religious nutcases world. Religion, it's just a thing that people use to exploit people, in my view. I just don't like it because of what happened to me. Right. Okay. What was I a fan of the actress Penelope Keith? Penelope Keefe, yes, an absolutely wonderful lady. And Russell Brand should be ashamed of himself for making fun of Penelope Keefe, because Penelope Keefe is a fabulous lady, absolutely wonderful, great lady. No problem with Penelope Keefe. Was Marilyn Monroe assassinated? Well, I don't know. How would I know? Uh, I know as much as you know about Marilyn Monroe, but the likelihood is probably no. But, you know, possibly, maybe, I don't know. I can't answer your question. I'm not the expert. Have I ever met Russell Brand? No, and thank God I haven't. If I met Russell Brand, I'd kick him in the face for what his dog did to the wallaby. He is a piece of shit. He is a piece of scum because how dare his dog murder that poor wallaby? How dare you allow your animal to get out of control to the point it murders a wallaby, a beautiful creature? How dare you, Russell Brand? You're a piece of junk. You are a piece of something else, but I'm not going to go there because, I don't want to go down the route of getting angry. You love me getting angry, but I'm sorry, I don't want to get angry about him tonight. He's boring. He's just a creep. His dog murdered the wallaby, and that wasn't nice. Do I like vintage cars? Asks Patricia. I love cars, yes. I love all sorts of cars, modern cars, old cars. I'm very into cars. Cars are a wonderful thing. Um, my first ever car was a Jaguar E-Type. I had it for 1 week. It was a disaster because I'm not a mechanic, so I couldn't look after it. So it was a total waste of time. My second car was a Range Rover, and of course, I became the Range Rover Crusader, which is a well-known series of articles. You can read about it in the Evening Standard. When I was a parking crusader, I love cars. Yep, I love a car. I love. I wish I had the money to have serious cars. I'd love a Bugatti or something like that, or, a beautiful car. I love driving beautiful cars because it's a joy to drive a beautiful car. It's a fabulous thing to do. So, yeah, I love a car. Yep. Right. Stephen Fry knelt before the king. I don't know what Stephen Fry got to do with the price of fish. I'm not quite sure why you're bringing up Stephen Fry. Have I ever ridden a motorbike? I ride quad bikes. I don't ride motorbikes. No. My mother is into motorbikes. She is into Ducati motorbikes. I have never ever ridden a motorbike. I've ridden quad bikes. I like quad bikes. I do enjoy a quad bike. But no, I've never actually ridden a motorbike, and I don't want to. I'm not interested in motorbikes. Absolutely no interest. But good for people who are. I hope you have a wonderful time on them because they're fabulous machines, and I celebrate everybody enjoying whatever they want to enjoy. Isn't that a wonderful thing to do? Celebrate people having fun. Enjoy your life. And that's what I want to do with my life. I don't want to be unhappy. I want to have a wonderful life. And I hope you all have a happy life. But no, motorbikes are just not my thing. So there we go. Pipfield loves his motorbikes. And good on my mum. Yep. Well, my mum loves motorbikes, so my mum loves everything. My mother has a HGV license. She loves to drive her truck, so she can drive her horses around. Her HGV truck. She's got a huge truck for her horses. My mother has licenses for everything. My mother is into cars, and I think that's a fabulous thing. I think it's fabulous that anyone is into anything. Enjoy everything in life. I'm so sick of hearing about people who are banging on about how miserable they are and how they don't like it and they don't like this and they don't like that. Come on, put yourself together. Be happy. We haven't got much time on this planet, any of us. We're all going to be dead soon because we don't last for long. So make the most of the bloody moment. Enjoy your life. Whatever you want to do it. Be happy. I love the things I do. I love investigating stories and I love trying to help people beat injustice. I get up in the morning and I think, how can I help them? That is my thing. I know that is not most people's thing, but that is my thing. I want to help get my people who I support justice. That's all I care about. I'm not interested in trivialities because I'm a little bit passionate. And I get up in the morning and that's what I do. And I think, how can I help them? And, with the Menendez brothers, with Gavin Newsom, it's taken me over 10 years to get him to listen. And Gavin is now listening. He only listened because there was a TV show. I do realize this. It's not down to me, but Gavin and I have known one another a long time. But I have been badgering him like a complete pain in the arse and a pest that I am. And I am a pest. When I get going on a topic, I am a complete nuisance. And he has listened. Thank you, Gavin. And we want Gavin to give the brothers clemency. That's what we want. Well, that's what I want. All the other people involved in the story, they want all the other processes to happen. I want the clemency. Let's give them the clemency. Come on, Gavin. Let them free. You can do it, Gavin. Cheers to you, Gavin, if you can do it. But I've been badgering you and like a complete pain in the arse that I am. I am a horrible nuisance. Be warned, on any topic, you set me off, like with the sloths. And I'm not going to shut up about the sloths either. Where are you all? Where are you? Let's be having you on those. Come on. Support the sloths. Why don't you all give some money? Spread the petition. Come on. Share the petition. Sign it at the very least. I don't think many of you actually have. So come on, let's be having it. I know a few of you have, and you're very generous in signing, but you haven't paid anything. So come on, let's be having you. Come on. Man up, grow up, and show up. Support the petition. I am a person, when I get passionate, yes, I am totally dedicated to any cause. And I don't tolerate anything other than 100% loyalty. And it's taken me 10 years to get Gavin Newsom to support the Menendez brothers. Now, I'm not saying I single-handedly got him to support this case, but I badgered him and pestered him for 10 years. And everybody told me to shut up and be quiet. Well, I didn't. And soon you will see the results. And then you'll all have to eat your bloody words. The people who were so horrible. I have been banging on about this for 10 years. 10 years of continual going on about it. I am obsessed with this case because the Menendez brothers need to be free. And Gavin, come on, Gavin, you're nearly there. I know you can't do it any sooner, so I'm not criticizing you right now, but they should be free. We want the Menendez brothers to be. It's manslaughter, not murder. They need to be freed. And Gavin Newsom, it is time for you to do the decent thing. Thank you, Gavin. If you will do it, you are nearly there. You're nearly admitting it. So let's be having it. It would be wonderful if Gavin would actually do what is right. And I'm not criticizing Gavin. You know, his sister Hillary, she's a friend of mine. I like Hillary very much, and her husband. Nice people. You know, I knew the Plump Jack business. I've known these people a long time. You know, Gavin was married to that mad woman who then was involved with Donald Trump Jr. or whatever he was called. You know, bunch of bloody fruitcakes. But I have always said to Gavin, since he was Gavinator, do the right things by the Menendez brothers. Because the Menendez brothers, to me, it's like Michael Barrymore. I don't like injustice. So where is Michael Barrymore? Another coward, another pathetic specimen in England, you know, he can't be bothered to even turn up. Awful, awful person. Come on, Barrymore, face me. I want you, Barrymore, and I'm going to say this again now. Where are you, Keith Bishop? Bishop, I want to play chess with you, mate. I want to play a game of chess with you, Bishop, because if you're the bishop, I'm the king. I will ruin you. You're a moron, Bishop. You're a disgrace. How dare you treat the Lubbock family in the way you have, Bishop? You're a nobody. Yes, Marco Polo says this is a breath of fresh air. There we go. Well, thank you for your kind words. Right. Checkmate, says Stevie D. Yes, checkmate. I want to play chess with Keith Bishop. Wouldn't you agree, Lady Min?
Yes.
I want to play chess with Keith Bishop because if he's the bishop, I'm going to win the game. It's very clear that Keith Bishop can't win the game because he's a cowardly custard because he can't be bothered to face me, can he? We want you, Keith Bishop. Where are you? Keith Bishop, come out of your closet, you little cretin. You're a disgrace. Keith Bishop, face me. I want Keith Bishop in front of me. There we go. Mr. Lee Kicker, Bishop is a disgrace. I don't know. Yes. Yeah, precisely. Well done. We don't like. Okay. I'll ask the audience. Okay. There's over 100 of you here. Over 100. So do you like Keith Bishop? Can you tell me, do you like him? Give me a 1 if you like Keith Bishop. Give me a 2 if you don't like Keith Bishop. 1 if you like him. 2 if you don't. I want some opinions. Keely says 2. Stevie D says 2. Right. Mr. Lee Kicker, 2. Elaine Harvey, 2. Bessie Jones, 2. We haven't got a single one yet. So no one likes Keith Bishop. We've got loads of you coming in. Marianne, Elizabeth. Yep, thank you. Nobody likes Keith Bishop. What does that say, Lady Min? No, she can't answer the question. Right, no. Every single person has said they don't like Keith Bishop.
I don't like him.
She doesn't like him either. But no, she didn't understand my question to her. But anyway, never mind. Bishop bog off. Right, well, I'm going to call Keith Bishop again tomorrow morning. I think that is a very important thing to do. I will try and make another appointment with him to try and have a confrontation with Michael Barrymore and him. I think that would be a good thing to do. Wouldn't you agree, Lady Min?
Yes, sir.
I think it is time I had a confrontation with him. Susan says if Lady Min doesn't like him, I don't like him. That's what Susan, spill the tea, says. She's with you. Anyway, there we go. But no, I don't like Mr. Keith Bishop. Mr. Bishop is a cowardly custard because he can't be bothered to face me. He's absolutely fishy, as Marco Polo rightly says here. Well said, Marco Polo. Thank you for your comment. This man needs throwing down the well, doesn't he? Bishop is a bloated, says Stevie D. Okay, well, I don't know. He's definitely, I don't know if he's bloated, but he's absolutely horrific. Yes. Never mind. Anyway, let's move along. Right. Anyway, let's move along. I've done enough on all of that. So, we'll begin with our first topic. Yes. On the 25th of March, I will say, I did ask Samantha Markle a few questions about her sister. I said, what do you think of your sister opening an online shop? And what about the Windsor gown that she was selling? And I said, I'd say more bargain basement TK Maxx than Harrods for sure. Samantha has replied. So I'm giving you a world exclusive here. Samantha Markle, Meghan's sister. She says it's a pretty tacky step down because she has failed at everything else. So she used Harry as a springboard to the red carpet, which failed, and then bounced even further than that to cooking shows. And I guess it's rock bottom when you hit having to resort to an online shop. LOL. She does like an LOL, which is not something I would use. But I do love my Samantha. She's a fabulous lady, but I don't like an LOL. Don't tell me she's selling on eBay or Etsy. LOL. God help me. Poshmark used a retail item. The next step will be garage sales at Montecito. And now he has the embarrassment of knowing that he is settled with an American who does online sales. From royal to toil, she says. From royal to toil. That is the summary of Samantha Markle of her ghastly sister. from royal to toil. What a piece of rubbish. Well said, Samantha. I love my Samantha. She's absolutely fantastic. Anyway, I will now discuss this. King Charles does sell gin, etc., from Highgrove, but Meghan's online shop is manipulation, I believe, of the royal names. She's not a working royal, so why should she be selling products that have a royal name in it? The Windsor gown. She should not be doing this. This is inappropriate behavior by a manipulative bitch. It's an absolute shambles. She should not be using the word Windsor because she is not a working royal. So, how is she allowed to do this? This should be stopped. That is my question. So, Richard Eden, if you're watching, because considering you like to go on and on about Meghan all the time, why don't you question why she's using the word Windsor gown? Because Windsor gown is not an appropriate name for a product because she's not actually a member of the royal family. So she shouldn't be using such a name because she is a non-working royal. Absolutely inappropriate. Right. Next thing I shall bring up. Let me have a look. She's a shameless grifter. She's a deadbeat. She's tacky. She's tawdry. And, she's got her 2.6 million followers on Instagram. She is getting 30% commission on every product sold. She's selling what's called a perfect white cotton t-shirt and the striped blue boyfriend shirt. Oh, for goodness sakes. This woman should have some dignity. If she is married to a member of the royal family, and as for that drip, Prince Harry, what a pathetic specimen he is. He can't even tell his wife to put a sock in it. She should shut her bloody gob. She needs a gobstopper shoving in her mouth. Absolutely appalling. I'm sick to death of hearing from her. Her 32-piece collection. Yes, well, I'm sure she will make her millions because there are many little stupid groupies, and the Omid Scooby little fan club will go along. Seriously? You have brought shame on the royal family. The late Queen was embarrassed enough, and you've now done more damage to King Charles, and it's absolutely sickening what you're doing, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. Meghan, you two are disgusting. You make the nation feel sick. And your stupid Netflix program. You're a greedy pair of grabbers. And yet there you are in Montecito, in your little mansion, and you're making your stupid programs that nobody actually wants to watch because you're ghastly and you're grim. And I will say, Prince Harry, you are more of a disgrace than her because you haven't kept her under control. Shame on you. You should have told her to shut her mouth. She's an absolute disgrace. Samantha is a lovely lady. And how dare you, the pair of you, treat these people like Samantha in this bad way, because they didn't choose this life. You forced this life upon them. You actually ruined their lives. They never ever wanted this life. They were just ordinary people. You ruined their lives. You dragged them into this world, and now they have to suffer the indignity that goes with being associated with you. Shame on you, you awful, awful people. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. You're a pair of disgusting grifters. You're vile, absolute embarrassments to everybody. But Prince Harry, you were always thick. You were always horrible. You're a horrible, horrible man. I will say that Prince Harry is worse than her because he was brought up in a system. He should have known how to handle the situation. And he has behaved like a spoilt, reckless brat. And when he didn't go his own way, he ran away with his stupid little wench. Just like, the other one with Wallace Simpson. Disgraceful behavior. Absolutely appalling. Prince Harry is the worst of the worst and absolutely appalling. Keeley likes Prince Harry. He was treated badly. Okay, that's your opinion. I don't agree with you. But anyway, Meghan Markle didn't fall far from the tree. Okay, that's one opinion. Harry dressed up as Hitler. Yes, well, that was his choice. Right. I think Harry dressing up as Hitler was not the worst of his crimes. He is a stupid idiot. Right. Harry got dropped on the head as as a baby. I probably think so, yes. There's something dumb about the man. He's completely thick. He's a moron. I totally agree with you. The former king was friends with Hitler. Oh. Right. Okay. Well, that's a different point that you're making. I understand the point you're making. Harry went out with P. Diddy. Well, yes, Harry did hang around with P. Diddy. Not a very close. Anyway. Right. So anyway, we'll move on to another topic. That's enough of that. What I'd like to say is, what do you think about Keir Starmer, the farmer harmer? So I'm going to talk about Keir Starmer, the farmer harmer. So Keir Starmer, James Melville, the man who talks a lot about this, who called him a Pinocchio politician, said he lied to the farmers, he lied to the students, he lied to the disabled, he lied to the pensioners, he lied to the council taxpayers, he lied to the WASPy women, he lied to the energy payers, he lied to small business owners. Back a farmer, not Starmer. So what do you think about this? Stevie D says Starmer bluffed us to get into power. Starmer was a terrible man, I agree. Nicola Crompton says a disgraceful man, cruel man who needs to go. Mr. Lee Kicker says Keir Starmer is a ghastly prime minister. I say, why did Lord Ali pay for the knickers for his wife? And he should have gone to Specsavers for him. why is he appointed Rishi Sunak's wife, Ashka, or Ashkata, or whatever her name is, as a V&A trustee? So they're all the same. They're just not on our side. Champagne socialist on steroids. Yes. Wouldn't you agree, lady men?
Mm.
Hello?
Yes.
Wouldn't we agree?
Yes.
Keir Starmer is a champagne socialist on steroids. Starmer has opened the UK borders. Right. He's opening the red carpet out for Farage. Well, I don't know about that, but Starmer is beneath contempt. I agree with you. Right. The UK needs a Trump. We don't need a Trump, in my view, but there we go. Matt Grant likes Ben Wallace. Well, I don't agree with you. Cassie says, I keep forgetting he's Prime Minister. Well, that's unfortunate because he is. Can't change that. He will be Prime Minister until at least another 5 years. So 4 years. So hard luck. Right. Anyway, there we go. So, right. Who's the best politician I've ever met who is still alive? Ken Clark. Ken Clark, immediately. I can answer that question without a doubt. I love Ken Clark. I think he's fabulous. Ken Clark is the best chancellor the country ever had. I love my Ken Clark. So there you go. Mr. Lee Kicker agrees. I like Ken Clark. Have you ever smoked a cigar with Ken Clark? Yes, I have. Fabulous man. I've smoked many a cigar with Ken Clark because Ken Clark and I are good friends. Lovely, lovely, decent Tory. Yeah, precisely. There we go. I'm very lucky to know great people. He's one of them. Ken Clark, absolutely, absolutely one of the best. Different to Margaret, but Margaret and I knew them at different times. So I knew Ken after Margaret. So I'm very lucky to have spent time with such people. But Ken Clark is a lovely, lovely man. Fabulous man. There we go. Mr. Chris Wilson says, you love a Bugatti Veyron. You have great taste in cars. I do love cars, yes. And I love lots of cars. And I was very lucky. My first car was a Jaguar E-Type, but I'm not a mechanic, so I couldn't fix it. So it was no point having it. It was a total stupid car to own. I owned it for 2 weeks. Absolutely stupid. Have I smoked a cigar with Ken Clark? Yes, I have. Yes. He's a decent Tory. Yes, I totally agree with you. He's a nice man. I did smoke a cigar with Ken Clark, yes. I don't know why that's important, but if I have done such a thing. There we go. The country is a mess. Don't disagree with you. Right, next question. Right, okay. You gave up smoking almost a year ago. Well, that's very nice. I hope you enjoy giving up. Okay. Well, anyway, I shall be going to bed again soon because I think it's probably time. Do I like Anne Widdecombe? No, 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 and no. I cannot stand Anne Widdecombe. Anne Widdecombe is one of the most repugnant people I've ever met in my life. I once spilt a glass of wine over Anne Widdecombe. It was not intentional. I sat next to Anne Widdecombe at a lunch party, and I was holding my glass of red wine, and on my right was a lady who became ill. On my left was Anne Widdecombe. And Anne Widdecombe ranted and raved at me throughout this damn bloody lunch. And she was a boring bitch. She's one of the most boring people I've ever met in my entire life. She is so awful. She's ghastly. She's so common and horrible. She's vile. Anne Widdecombe needs to have a sock put in her mouth. Let's be frank. It would be the best thing that could be done with her. But anyway, I had to put up with this. Anyway, this woman got ill at the lunch and she collapsed. And as she collapsed, her glass of wine went over Widdecombe. And Anne Widdecombe got cross with me. So no, that's how I've experienced Anne Widdecombe. She is a complete boring bitch. I can't stand the woman. Anne Widdecombe is one of the most nasty people on the planet because she has no sympathy for people who are victims of, you know, being injured. She's very unkind. What a nasty woman. I don't like Anne Widdecombe. I hope you don't like Anne Widdecombe either. Do you like Anne Widdecombe? Please tell me. She's not a very pleasant woman. I hope you don't like her. Lady Min, do you like Anne Widdecombe? She's gone to sleep. She doesn't even care. No, there we go. Oh, Lord. This is how my life works. No, I don't like Anne Widdecombe. Do you like Anne Widdecombe? No. No. Not getting anywhere with them. So, right, next question. Yes, well, you're moaning about her. The song about Anne Widdecombe. I don't know. Well, I think it's better I put her to bed. I think she's ready for bed. I think that's much better instead. Anyway, I will end this program now because this is the time to end it. But thank you very much for your participation. You've been very, very kind. But it's time to go to bed. I'll say happiness galore, good night, and thank you for your participation. Um, it's better I put this woman to bed because she really needs to go to bed. Um, I can't do any more about her behavior. Sorry. It's better I just put her to bed. But I thank you anyway. Nighty night, sleep tight, take care, and don't let the bed bugs bite. Good night. Thank you to you all. You've been very kind. Um, I don't know where I'll be going next, but yeah, I'm just saying thank you.